Picture a 24-year-old. Wakes up at 6:40, not because his body wants to, but because a commute wants him to. He's at a desk by 9. He answers messages, sits in 2 meetings that could have been a sentence, and watches the clock crawl toward 5. By the time he gets home, it's 6:15. He eats. He scrolls. He tells himself tonight is the night he finally starts that thing he keeps talking about. The side project, the store, the freelance thing, the skill. He opens his laptop at 8:50. He stares at it. His brain is a wet towel. By 9:30, he's asleep on the couch with the laptop still open and nothing on the screen. The next day, it happens again. Then the next. For about 40 years. Here's the part nobody tells you. That is not a personal failure. That is the design working perfectly. The 9 to 5 was not built to make you poor. It was built to make you exactly comfortable enough that you never leave, and exactly tired enough that you never build the thing that would let you. Those are 2 different jobs, and the schedule does both at once. I want to walk you through how the trap is actually constructed piece by piece, because once you see the mechanism, you cannot unsee it. Then I'm going to show you how people get out. Not with some manifestation nonsense, but with math and leverage. Let's start with the part of the trap that hides in plain sight. Your calendar. Most people think they sell their employer 8 hours. They don't. They sell the entire day and only get paid for the middle of it. Run the real numbers. A standard job is 8 hours. Add a lunch you don't really control. That's 9. Add a commute. That averages around 27 minutes each way in America. Call it an hour round trip. That's 10. Add the getting ready, the winding down, the decompression where you stare at a wall because your brain is fried. That's another hour easy. You are now at 11 hours of your waking life that belong to a job that pays you for 8. You wake up with maybe 16 usable hours. The job takes 11 of them, including the best ones, the hours when your mind is sharp and your willpower is full. What's left over is the scraps, the tired hours, the 9 p.m. hours where building anything ambitious feels physically impossible. This is the first layer of the cage. It is not that you don't have time, it is that you don't have the right time. The system takes your prime hours at full price and hands you back the exhausted ones, then acts confused about why you never built anything. You were never given the raw material to build with. Here's the cruelest part. The pay is just good enough to work. A salary is engineered to land in a very specific zone, high enough that quitting feels insane, low enough that you can never save your way to freedom. You make enough to afford a slightly nicer apartment, a slightly newer car, a slightly better phone, and every time your income goes up, your lifestyle quietly rises to eat it. Economists have a boring name for this. Lifestyle creep. I have a more honest name for it. The leash getting longer so you don't notice it's still a leash. Think about what a raise actually does. You get 8% more money, and within a few months your spending has expanded to match it, so you are exactly as trapped as before, just with nicer stuff. The raise didn't free you. It re-anchored you. Now you have more to lose, so you're even less likely to take the risk that would actually get you out. This is why people earning $120,000 a year can feel just as stuck as people earning $50,000. The number went up. The cage just got a fresh coat of paint. The salary was never designed to be an exit. It was designed to be a reason to stay. In engineering, a single point of failure is the one component that, if it breaks, the whole system goes down. You design those out. You add redundancy. You never let the entire machine depend on one part. Your finances have exactly one part. Your job. If that one income stops, everything stops. Rent, food, insurance. Your entire life runs through a single switch that someone else controls. Here's the thing they don't advertise. That switch is not yours. A manager you've met 4 times in a meeting you weren't invited to can flip it. Layoffs are not personal. That is precisely what makes them terrifying. A spreadsheet decided you were a line item, and the line got cut, so you behave accordingly. You stay agreeable. You don't push too hard. You absorb the extra work. You're available at 8:47 p.m. because deep down you know the entire structure of your life balances on this one fragile beam, and you cannot afford to crack it. That fear is not weakness. It is the rational response to building your whole life on one income. The system gave you one leg to stand on and then told you to stop wobbling. This one is quiet and it's the most dangerous of all. Spend 40 hours a week somewhere for 5 years and it stops being a thing you do. It becomes a thing you are. The first question anyone asks you at a party is what you do for work. Your sense of being competent, useful, respected, it all gets wired into the job. Your friends are mostly people from the job. Your daily rhythm, your sense of purpose, your status, all of it routes through the same building. So now leaving isn't just financially scary, it's an identity crisis. Walking away from the job feels like walking away from yourself, because they made sure those two things became the same thing. That is not an accident. A person whose entire identity is their job will defend that job like it's their own body. They'll work the late nights. They'll skip the side project. They'll call it loyalty. It's capture. You cannot build an escape from inside a place you've mistaken for your own reflection. So the first move out is mental, and we're getting to it. School taught you to be a great employee. It did not teach you the single most important distinction in money, and that gap is not random. There are two ways to make money. You can sell your time, or you can build an asset. Selling time means you trade hours for dollars. And the second you stop trading, the dollars stop. That's a job. An asset is different. An asset is something you build once that keeps paying after the work is done. A piece of software, a YouTube channel, a book, a product, a brand, an audience, a rental, a system that runs without your hands on it every second. The 9 to 5 is pure time for money, and it's structured so you never have the surplus time or energy to build anything in the other category. That is the whole trap in one sentence. They keep you so busy selling your hours that you never build the thing that would let you stop selling them. A man who trades time forever has to show up forever. A man who owns an asset can walk. They taught you the first one and pretended the second one didn't exist. That's the cage. 5 walls. Now let's take them apart, because every single one of them has a door. You will not build your escape in the exhausted 9 p.m. hours. Stop trying. Those hours are spent on purpose. The system already spent them. So you take hours it can't touch, the first 90 minutes of your day before the job owns you. Wake up at 6 instead of 7. I know. Before you click off, hear the math. 90 minutes a day, 5 days a week, is 7.5 hours. That's almost a full extra workday every week of your sharpest, freshest, most willpower-rich time, and it is completely yours. Nobody is emailing you at 6 a.m. Your brain is clean. There's no meeting to recover from yet. This is the only block of prime time the system hasn't already claimed, which is exactly why it's the most valuable real estate in your entire day. People who escape almost always build the early version of their freedom in the dark, before work, while everyone else is asleep. Not at night, when they're empty. In the morning, when they're full. Move your building hours to the front of the day and protect them like rent. Here is the mindset shift that changes everything. Stop trying to make extra money. Start trying to build something that makes money without you. There's a real difference between a second job and an asset. Driving for a delivery app at night is just selling more of your time more cheaply while you're more tired. That's not an escape. That's a longer shift. An asset is anything that decouples your effort from your income. You do the work once and it keeps earning. It will be small at first. Embarrassingly small. Your first digital product makes $40. Your channel gets 11 views. Your newsletter has 6 subscribers, and 3 of them are your family. This is the stage where almost everyone quits because they compare the tiny asset to the reliable paycheck and feel stupid. But the paycheck is linear. The asset compounds. One grows in a straight line and stops the moment you do. The other can bend upward and keep climbing while you sleep. $20 a month becomes $200, becomes $2,000, not in a straight line. But the paycheck never does that at all. Build the thing that can bend. Tolerate it being tiny. Most people get the escape order backwards. They dream about quitting first, then figuring out the money. That's how you end up back at a job in 4 months, more scared than before. Flip it. You don't quit the job to start the business. You start the business and let it earn you out of the job. The job is not your enemy while you're escaping. It's your investor. It's the most patient funding source you will ever have. It pays your rent while you build the thing that replaces it. So keep it and use it and feel zero guilt about giving it exactly the energy it pays for and not 1 unit more. Stop bringing your best self to the place that's renting your worst hours. Save the best self for the asset. Here's the bar to aim at. You don't need to replace your whole salary to be free. You need to replace your survival number. Rent, food, the basics. The day your asset covers your baseline is the day the job becomes optional instead of mandatory, and optional changes everything about how you walk through that building. Earn the exit before you take it. Freedom has a price, and the price is months. Specifically, months of expenses sitting in an account that let you say no. Most people can't escape because they cannot survive a single missed paycheck, so every decision they make is made from fear. Fear is a terrible negotiator. It makes you take the bad job, accept the low offer, stay in the role that's eating you, because the alternative is the void. The way you kill that fear is boring and it is undefeated. Save a runway. 6 months of bare expenses changes you at a chemical level. With 6 months in the bank, a layoff is a sabbatical instead of a catastrophe. A bad boss is a problem you can actually walk away from. The job stops being a thing you need and becomes a thing you're choosing. And the moment you're choosing it, you're already half free. Cut the lifestyle creep we talked about and shovel the difference into Runway. You're not saving money. You're buying the ability to say no, and that's the most expensive thing a working person can own. While you build the exit, you also fix the single point of failure, and you do it by stacking skills that are yours, not the company's. There's a difference between being good at your job and being good at a skill. Being good at your job makes you valuable to one employer, inside one building, using their tools and their systems. The day you leave, most of that value evaporates because it only existed in their context. A skill is portable. Writing, coding, design, sales, editing, building an audience, those go with you. They work at the next job, in your own business, on your own asset. So treat your job like a paid training program for your own freedom. Pick one transferable, high-leverage skill and get genuinely good at it on company time and company tools. This does two things at once. It makes you harder to fire today, which loosens the fear. It also builds the exact capability you'll use to escape tomorrow. Every skill you own, instead of rent, is a brick you're pulling out of the wall. Theory is comfortable. Comfortable is the trap. So here's what to do in the next 7 days, specifically. So this video doesn't become another thing you nodded at and forgot. First, do the 11-hour audit. Track where your day actually goes for 3 days. The commute, the prep, the decompression, all of it. See the real number the job costs you, not the 8 on your contract. You can't escape a trap you refuse to measure. Second, set the alarm for 1 hour earlier tomorrow, not a week from now. Tomorrow. Take that first hour and put it toward one thing that could become an asset. Write the first page, record the first video, make the first product. The quality will be bad. Do it anyway. The goal this week is not good. The goal is started. Third, find your survival number. Add up rent, food, insurance, the absolute basics. That single figure is your real escape target, not some fantasy salary. Most people have never once calculated it, which is why freedom stays abstract. Make it a number. Fourth, open a separate account and move something into it today. $20 counts. You are not saving for a vacation. You are buying your first inch of runway, and the account being real matters more than the amount. Fifth, pick one skill. 1. The portable kind. Spend 30 minutes getting better at it, not scrolling about it. Doing it. None of this requires you to quit anything tomorrow. That's the point. You build the door quietly, from inside the room, using the early hours and the patient money, until one day the door is real and you simply walk through it. Not in a rage, not in a blaze. You just leave, because by then you already replaced the only thing the job was actually giving you. Here's what the whole system is betting on. It's betting you'll watch something like this, feel a spark, agree with every word, and then do absolutely nothing. It's betting that tomorrow at 6 a.m., the alarm goes off and you hit snooze, because the cage is warm and the building is cold, and starting is hard. It is counting on your inertia. Your inertia is the lock, so break it small. Not the whole escape. Just the first hour, tomorrow. 1 hour of building something that's yours, before the day that belongs to them. That single hour is the entire difference between a person who talks about getting out and a person who is quietly, slowly, actually getting out. The 9 to 5 was designed so you'd never build the thing that frees you. The way you beat a design is you stop following it. You take the hours back. You build the asset. You stack the runway. You own the skill. You let the job fund its own replacement until the day you don't need it. If this hits something in you, do one real thing with it. Subscribe so the next video finds you, because I'm going to keep taking these traps apart, one at a time. Then close this app, set the alarm, and go build your first hour. The cage only works on people who stay asleep, so wake up early. That's the whole trick, that's the whole escape. The